Welcome back to Q&A Anime. You're here with Kadir, Akil, and David, who is a new addition to our channel, and we're gonna have to be renaming the channel unless David changes his name to something that begins with an A or a Q. So until then, the name is under review, but it's gonna be the three of us from now on, new anime squad. So hopefully you guys are gonna enjoy the new content. And without further ado, let's get started. So, Akil, you want to give us today's agenda?
Yeah, absolutely. Solo Leveling fans, you guys are in for a treat today because there's an official trailer finally released for the Solo Leveling anime produced by A1 Pictures.
So, for those that don't know A1, they have a lot of great works we'll talk about, but they are especially good at, number one, crazy, juicy visuals. The colors are really good. They have a great color palette and they make it blend all together in really great compilations. Also, the music. They have really great music for fight scenes, for their openings, and for their endings also. And then the animation on the openings and the endings are amazing. We'll talk about some of your favorites that you've probably seen before. And of course, fight scenes. They have great fight choreography. So you get to see a lot of hand-to-hand combat, a lot of like long-range combat, magic. They have a lot of experience with a lot of this. So we'll talk about a couple of the shows they have worked on before. First one being Sword Art Online. Have either of you seen Sword Art?
Yeah, Sword Art Online seasons 1 and 2. We got Blue Exorcist, we got Fairy Tail, we got some Netflix anime series, The Seven Deadly Sins, and Fate Apocrypha. And for those of you who are familiar with Black Butler, they did the anime adaptation for that as well.
Just want to say that I am super excited that A1 Studios is the one who's doing this because the fact that they get visuals and fight scenes so well consistently is exactly what we need for the Solo Leveling anime. Like, anyone who watched this channel knows we're big Solo Leveling fans, and so we want it to be done justice, and I feel like A1 Studio is definitely the one to get it done. Not including Seven Deadly Frames in the later seasons when they swapped studios. Seven Deadly Sins animation early on was fantastic. Sword Art Online's animation was also good, and so the fact that they have like this roster of consistency really making me excited for it.
Yes, we do not want to end up with the Seven Deadly Tragedies. So, another few things that are worth noting for the Solo Leveling anime, we got some big names here joining the cast for production. So they got the music being produced by Hiroyuki Sawano. They got Tomoko Sudo on character design. They got Noboru Kimura as the head writer. They have Shinsuke Nagashige as a director. And then they have a premiere release scheduled for sometime in 2023. We don't have an exact month or date, but, don't hold your breath till then. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask everybody is how excited they were for this. Akil, you mentioned how excited you were. So David, I'm gonna give it to you, and maybe you can add some comments to talk about how hyped you are.
Yes. I mean, I think I've said it before in the past, but Solo Leveling was gonna get an anime. This is just undisputed. Like, there was no way they're gonna miss out on this, especially having experience with Tower of God and also God of High School, getting their own animation. Like, Manuel was on the rise. And so Solo Leveling, I mean, the story is amazing. The story just completed this past year, and it's time. So I'm very excited. I think we're gonna get really good quality from A1 Studios. I don't think it's gonna let us down, and I'm just so excited for all the fight scenes we're gonna see. Like, it's time for some good animation.
For those of you that haven't read Solo Leveling, I don't want to spoil anything. There's going to be a lot of dynamic fight scenes, and that's one of the reasons that we also like reading the manhwa. And so hopefully that these fight scenes get the justice they deserve, and I'll be looking forward to seeing more trailers released as they have more work actually animated, because just the trailer alone is just a concept type of trailer. I don't know how else to describe it other than that we're just seeing like clips of what's going to be added to the series, but we haven't seen the series be animated itself. So what do you guys think about a Korean manhwa being adapted into Japanese anime? I'm going to start with you, Akil.
Honestly, I think it's exciting. Just like David said, manhwa is on the rise. People are finally, in the same way at one point, like people didn't put the respect on manga that it deserved until it got its anime. I think that manhwa is taking the same trend where people were sleeping on it for too long. Now they're realizing it's on the rise, and I'm super excited because there are so many good Korean manhwas. So what this could mean for the future, it means that we could get so much more exciting anime and content in general.
Yes, I couldn't have said it any better myself. I'm hoping to see some other big names in there like Lookism, maybe some Omniscient Reader anime. The list goes on. The list goes on. What about you, David?
Ooh, I want to see The Breaker.
The Breaker.
The Breaker is one of my personal favorites. I don't know if anyone knows, but The Breaker has been on a 7-year hiatus. Mostly due... I know, that's...
Hunter finished a 4-year hiatus, and you see how in pain the fans were for that. So a 7-year hiatus.
Yeah, they literally just did a shadow drop of like, I don't know, 5 or 6 chapters, maybe about 4 weeks ago. So I've been following them, and if you have not seen The Breaker yet, definitely watch it. It is a martial arts manhwa that also has some more like what's the word? You know, they have some powers too. So it's really good. The fight's amazing. It's just another character on the come up, just like our boy from Solo Leveling. So definitely check it out.
And so, how do you think that this Soul Leveling anime will compare to Tower of God? You know, both of them were successful manhwa that turned into an anime. You have God of High School, which was also a successful manhwa that turned into anime. What do you guys think? Like, in terms of people who were kind of turned off towards Tower of God, will they enjoy Soul Leveling? I'm going to start with Akil.
So I know that some of the people who are turned off by Tower of God, I don't think that that'll be the same for Solo Leveling. I feel like Solo Leveling definitely has not only a bigger following in a way, because first of all, like I've mentioned Tower of God to people and have them be like, oh, what's that? But I've never mentioned Solo Leveling to someone to have them be like, oh, I don't know what that is. So I think that people are definitely going to be excited to see this one turn into an anime. As for how they're going to stack up, I'm not entirely sure, just because Tower of God isn't finished, even though Solo Leveling is, so it's hard for me to compare unfinished work to a finished work, especially just because sometimes endings can like fold or make the series. But I definitely do think that in terms of the hype and the people who are watching and excited for Solo Leveling anime, it's definitely going to be more than that of Tower of God.
Yes. What about you, David? Anything else to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think Tower of God, amazing, like, you know, story, especially the visuals and the actual manual comic. But I think, I don't know, the animation, it wasn't exactly my style. I was kind of hoping for something different. So I think Solo Leveling is paired with a really good studio. I'm hoping they'll have more of a more dynamic animation, especially for some of the fight scenes that deserve that, you know, that really high detailed fidelity in their fights.
And to contribute my opinion to this topic, I think Akil is right. It's hard to compare finished and unfinished. I do think Tower of God follows more of a One Piece kind of vibe in Korean manhwa. So, you know, it's like very long, has a lot of chapters. You probably would have had to have gotten to it earlier to have a strong attachment to it now. Whereas Soul Leveling, I think it's like Naruto in that you could have hopped into it at any time and you would feel like a great attachment because it's not nearly as long, and I think they get straight to the point a lot more often in the series. And so for those of you that are looking for something that's a bit easy to chew on, Soul Leveling is definitely the way to go. I think that the anime studio that's going to be taking on Soul Leveling is going to do it justice. Not that I hated the Tower of God animation style, but I do think A1 has their work cut out for them when it comes to fight scenes. Not to knock Telecom Animation Film Company, which did Tower of God, but they don't have as many like staples. Like everybody's heard of Sword Art Online, everybody's heard of Fairy Tail, everybody knows the Fate series if you're big on anime, and so it's gonna be something that a lot of anime fans are, you know, waiting with bated breath. Whereas I feel like Tower of God, you really would have had to have been reading the manhwa prior to have been excited for that. But this is just big. This is gonna be a big. I think this is gonna really put Korean manhwa on the map. and we're gonna see a lot more adaptations of manhwa into anime. And this is gonna be like the flagship. Like this is gonna be like a Dragon Ball Z level, like just groundbreaking, you know. I don't know how else to put it, but that's what I'm looking forward to. Do you guys have anything else you want to add, Akil?
I think I've said everything I want to say. Just want to reiterate how excited I am, because I remember that when we had done the Soul Leveling video a while ago, we had known that they were talking about it getting like a live action adaptation, and I wasn't very excited for that. We said that we thought that anime would be the better way to go, so I'm very excited to see that it is getting an anime, because I feel like that's definitely the best format for Solo Leveling.
Yes, I'm very happy that they decided to go the anime route, because God knows what would have happened if they went with a live action adaptation and it turned out something like the Death Note live adaptation. That just tanked.
Oh man,
I agree.
What about you, David?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think it's in good hands. So we're just waiting. You know, what would it say? 2023.
2023. That's the year.
We got some time. They got time to make some good work. And hey, I just want them to take their time. I don't care if it's delayed, but they gotta take their time. I want a masterpiece coming out of this.
True. We only accept masterpieces on this channel.
Yes. Great or phenomenal. Below.
All right, guys. That ends the first episode with the three of us. We hope you guys will tune in more next time. And as we figure out this new format, we're going to be trying a bunch of different things. We hope you guys will stay with us, stay patient, and we're definitely going to have a bigger online presence. So make sure you leave your comments here on YouTube, or just find us on any other social media platform, and feel free to reach out to us there. All right, guys. So we typically say Q&A out, but we'll have to start saying something else. So when we figure that out, we'll just say, we'll say it then. But for now, goodbye.
See you guys.
Yeah, see you guys.